Good morning, friends. Myself, Sujal, and here I'm today talking about spirituality and Hinduism. So, today is my first day of explaining you about spirituality and why it's important, why the spirituality is important for all of us. So, basically, we will start from the scriptures. So, would you believe that the scriptures, the things they mention in themselves, is it true completely or not? But the main problem is the speculating of the atheists and their mindset. They actually easily spread their mindsets to other people's. And do you know why they do so easily? Because it's too easy to neglect the existence of God because we live in a world of five senses. We can see, hear, touch, sense, taste. So they try to make other people understand that we don't sense God, we don't touch God, we don't taste God, we don't see God, we don't hear God. So therefore, apart from these senses, by concluding these five senses are not in connection with God, so therefore God doesn't exist. So they're very eager to spread the atheism to whole world because they want their mindset to be on the top, want their mindset to be on the top so that they can become leader. And sometimes they try to force their mindset into your mindset. If you are not an atheist and you believe in God, they're quite repulsive to you and they start insulting you with their nature. It clearly seems that they are neglecting you from the society. And like, you believe in God? Why, man? Don't you understand the simple thing? You're believing in God. Like, they're indirectly insulting you. You know? So why do they do it? Because they have experienced nothing in their life. Yeah, I'm talking about spirituality. They have nothing in their experience in their life about spirituality. But what about those who have experienced something in spirituality in their life? So I'm talking about the people who have experienced something in spirituality in their life. So talk about people who have experienced. I have some experience about spirituality. Like, some people may call it coincidences, and yeah, coincidences, but it's on the way of thinking. The God don't do magic and do like this. Yeah, I will boon you a wish. Okay, I'll give you a boon. But the God doesn't do this thing like this way. They understand that, oh, there's no kind of magic in the world happening. Like, you wish, give me God this, and this happens. No, it's not like that. It's like that when the atheists understand that this is a coincidence, that if a well-wisher of a person is wishing about him, please God, make him well soon. I want him healthy soon. And the next day, he actually got well. But what an atheist say, oh, that wasn't coincidence, and you understand, and God does that. No. Actually, what happens, God made the coincidence. God made the coincidence. But if you go by mind on researching it, the accident would happen, the incident would happen actually. So you will exactly found scientific and logical reason that why it happened. You will not find the reason of God doing this coincidence making it. You will only find a scientific reason behind the getting well of the person next day. You will find a scientific reason. You will find a logic. But what the non-atheists say, the devotee will say that, yeah, I completely believe that a scientific reason was behind the getting well of the person the next day was possible. And not only possible, it was confirmed, because we don't neglect the science, but science neglect the God. Because if we say that God made this world, so science is not compatible enough to verify the existence of God. Because God is the supreme personality of Godhead, and we can't understand him with our tiny, petty head. Understanding? We can't understand the supreme reality with our tiny head. We are limited. Our observations are limited. our instruments are limited. Yeah, we keep on adding on them, but we're still limited, and we are always observing. Look at the science. The science is always observing with these eyes, with adding extra instruments, always and repeating this and developing, and they call it invention, but it's true up to an extent, but it's only related to the observation, enhancement, development, research, and adding new instruments to observe. But apart from them, they're not observing the observer. That's the main thing. They're not observing the observer. They relate the observer with the body of the observer. For example, I am saying that this is your hand, this is your leg, this is your face. So when I refer to this is your face, this is your head, this is your leg, so eventually when I refer that this is you, so are you just a combination of your body parts? No. This is your hand, this is your body. So this is your body. So who are you? Isn't there a logic that we are actually moving on, heading on to the supreme truth? And that's truth. We don't even realize that we are seeing truth, but we are not believing in this. How? What's so surprising, man? I don't understand why do people say that God doesn't exist, because they are not understanding the supreme reality that's apart from the materialistic world. It's fire, water, air, earth, and wind. So these 5 particles submerged to make this material world, but with this material eyes, we only can see the materialistic things, touch, sense, and with all the 5 sensory organs. So God is apart from this, because God made this material world. So the one who made this material world can't be seen by a tiny puppet of this material world. We are the puppets. We are controlled by the supreme reality, but in an indirect way, because we can't directly understand the interruption of the God's power in this world. But it is the supreme authority of the whole universe and all the universes and the multiverses around this cosmos. So this is what the reality is. I remember a line from Hanuman Chalisa by Goswami Tulsidas ji. I hope you all remember this. Jug sahastra yojan par bhanu lilyo tahi madhur fal jaan. Prabhu mudrika meli mukmahi jaldi langa kai achraj nahi. So the phrase Jug sahastra yojan par bhanu is a mathematical calculation in which 500 and more than 500 years ago, Goswami Tulsidas ji is telling about the distance between the earth and the sun. Bhanu is sun and Prithvi Mata is called earth. So, Jug Sahastra Yojan par Bhanu, as per calculated, and in 2009, when the NASA discovered the earth and sun's distance, surprisingly, the distance calculated in the Hanuman Chalisa and by the NASA was exact distance. Isn't it surprising? We take it lightly because atheists say that it keeps on happening, it's not a big deal. Yeah, because you want to prove that God doesn't exist, so you keep on already believing that God doesn't exist, give this excuse not exist. No, you are not accepting the truth. Okay, if this is a coincidence, this fact is a coincidence, let's take another. Okay, but before that, I will tell you that if you are speculating, so no matter how many proofs you get, you still speculate. And if you believe, no matter how many people make you disbelieve about that, you will not disbelieve in this. That's up to your mindset. No one can control it unless you want to change it. So these facts are based on scientific proofs and the verifications by the government. So next proof is, in the Harappan civilization, two skulls were found and 2 skeletons were found holding each other's hand, and they were dead 5,500 approx years ago. And it was on the found that the nuclear radiations were present there. Then the nuclear weapons were used 5,500 approx years ago on that Bhumi. And that Bhumi was the Mahabharat Bhumi, where the war was held, and the nuclear level weapons Brahmastra were used. Okay, this was also a coincidence. Okay, no problem. So I have one more fact. Long ago, from scientists, when they are fighting that Earth is flat or oval or circle, the Rig Vedas verse have verified that Earth and all the other planets in the solar system are revolving around Sun. Okay, this is also a coincidence. No. Okay, you can believe it too. You can verify it too. The concept of high tide and low tide, that the gravitational force of moon and sun makes the ocean waves to feel up and down. So this theory was also given in the Vishnu Puran how many years ago? Approx 10,000 years ago. So this was also a coincidence, because no one wants to believe in God. No one is believing, no one wants to, because they want to do what their desires want to do. And once we are following the path of our desire, it's never going to be fulfilled, and we are only going to destroy ourselves in the path of fulfilling our desires. And because you want to go into that part of sense gratification, you want to neglect the existence of God. Because if you accept the existence of God, you have to follow the path of dharma, which don't goes to the sense gratification, and you want to be happy with the material affairs and you want to evolve in this. But apart from this, another world where you have to pay for all the things, all the sins you've made in this world. And the Bhagavad Gita states already the 64 dimensions that exist. And at first there were 2 dimensions, length and breadth. Now Einstein brother came, third dimensions also exist. Third dimension is the time. So okay, accepted this. But slowly today there are approximately 11 dimensions invented. So science is never complete. It's heading towards our ancient dharma, Bhagavad Gita, which already stated that there are 64 dimensions. Science book have modern edition, revised edition, Bhagavad Gita from 5,500 approx years ago, 700 slok till date. No advised edition, no additional edition, no additional book. The correct exact explanation of the science, the Vedic science, is given. Read about the Sushrut. Who were Sushrut? The Maharshi whose statue is built in Australia Surgical Hospital, where you wanted to go. It was your dream from 7 Janmas to go to this country. I want to leave India. Why I born in such poor country where poor culture exists? I want to leave. You want to leave your own home when you are hungry with all the relatives you have in your house. You are leaving that house. It's like doing this thing. Leave your undeveloped country to a developed country, and the growth of your country remains stagnant. You responsible for the undeveloped India, and you blame the government authorities. They are not completely reasonable for the probabilities we face today. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.